Joining us now is John Lucich. He's CEO of the cybersecurity firm Network Security Group. John, good to have you here.
Thanks.
How could it happen? One would assume that security would at least protect individual phones. This looks like, what, a broad attack on celebrities?
Well, we're in the early stages of the investigation right now, but it doesn't look like the phones themselves were hacked. It looks like the accounts online were hacked that these phones actually sync to. Now, Apple has come out and said they did a 40-hour investigation and said that they haven't found any weaknesses or compromises into the system.
Right.
But that doesn't mean the accounts weren't compromised. When you set up an account, you're asked to put a username and password. If you put a weak password, or if there's a way that they may have said, now, there are other reports out there that said there's a vulnerability in the system, that the hackers were allowed to try again, despite the fact that typically in the industry, every 3 tries locks the account. Well, they were able to try over a period of time and actually gain access, it appears.
Apple says none of the cases it investigated were the breach of any Apple system. And they also fixed a bug in its Find My iPhone service that allowed a hacker to keep trying passwords until identifying the correct one. Any relationship between the two statements?
Well, there is, because if you've got a system that allows someone to go on time and time again trying passwords, that to me is a vulnerability. It wasn't a breach into the Apple system, but if that's the case, then it sounds like a vulnerability.
The FBI, what is the likelihood they'll be able to track down this person or persons?
Well, connection is a connection. There are going to be logs. The problem is, though, as we trace these logs back, sometimes they come to a free Wi-Fi system, such as with Panera Bread or a hotel or someplace like that. Hacker will sit outside and break into somebody, so when the cops track him back, he comes to that. But then cops can go to wireless systems and look at cameras to try and identify who might have been in that area doing something. It's tough when we come to mobile communications.
And a lot of people are talking about the cloud, iCloud perhaps in this instance, as if there is some vulnerability there that would not exist were this in a different server in a different manner connected to those mobile devices.
Well, iCloud provides a great service. There's no doubt about it, as many cloud providers do. When it comes down to it, I think the problem is always humans. We have a total misunderstanding of technology. Many people don't realize that by default, your phone may send these photos, videos, and everything else up to the iCloud.
So it's about maintaining that first level of security.
Right, and understanding
strong passwords.
Right, so I met with 2 people today.
I'm never going to understand it. So.
I met with 2 people today that had their iPhones, and we checked their settings. They didn't realize their photos were being sent up to the iCloud. They turned it off and deleted all the photos. They had no idea. They have to be aware of what their phone does, and if they want to stop it, it's a simple setting on the iPhone to turn that off.
Which setting is that?
It's under Settings, under iCloud, under Photos. It says On by default. Just turn it off, and it's going to delete all those photos up there, and it's going to turn it off so it no longer syncs.
On behalf of everyone watching you and listening to you who are just now going to their iPhones and switching that off, thank you, John. Good to have you here. Appreciate it.